Somebody that returned at the WWE Royal Rumble apparently isn't signed with the company. There's a lot of confusion there. I'm going to give you guys the answers that you might be looking for. Also, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, what is going down with them? Are they returning to the WWE? We're going to talk about that in today's video, and then we're also going to talk about a pretty big return. If you guys want more videos like this, go ahead and click that subscribe button. It's definitely appreciated. We're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers this year. Very aggressive goal, but it would be massive if you guys were to help me out there. I want to kick things off talking about Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury has come out and he has said that he wants to get back in the WWE ring. He was speaking with Give Me Sport. He talked about a return to WWE. He also stated that WWE will be doing a second Clash at the Castle 2. Which obviously is the premium live event that they did in the UK. He says, I'm hoping to get back in there soon. They're doing Clash at the Castle 2, so I'm looking at maybe getting back in there. I'm looking at taking that heavyweight title for sure. If Roman Reigns vacates or something, then maybe me and Drew can finally get that battle on. Now, if you guys didn't know, there is a huge issue with the Fury family coming to America. Obviously, this has been one of the big things that kind of prevented Tommy Fury and Jake Paul fighting. But with Tyson Fury being involved with WWE, we've seen him in Saudi Arabia with WWE. We've seen them in the UK at the original Clash at the Castle. Now, obviously, if you guys know anything about Triple H, Paul Levesque is a huge boxing fan. He is a fan of, combat sports and everything. So the idea that WWE would, in fact, be interested in bringing in Tyson Fury does make a lot of sense. And honestly, when Tyson Fury was at Clash at the Castle, he was watching as a fan. They did the whole thing with him knocking out Austin Theory, which I thought was a great spot. I thought that was really cool, especially being that Austin Theory was a heel. But then it kind of got weird because the WWE Network on Peacock aired Drew McIntyre and Tyson Fury singing together. And I get it. It's something that Tyson Fury does within his boxing matches. But I think for a lot of fans watching at home, they were really confused by it and they didn't necessarily like it. Now, as far as WWE having some sort of involvement with Tyson Fury, there's not much to say about it. I think WWE utilizing professional athletes is always a great thing, especially when it comes to crossover. And Tyson Fury is arguably one of the best when it comes to heavyweight boxing. So, if WWE is going to bring him back, that's great. With that being said, if they're going to bring him back to wrestle Drew McIntyre or Roman Reigns or something like that, I just don't think it's worth it. This guy is not going to be able to compete in a WWE ring at the same level as WWE superstars. As you know, if you watched him versus Braun Strowman, that was a big letdown. But also at the same time, too, and I just really want to make this clear, even though I like Tyson Fury, the boxer, I don't like him in a WWE ring. I don't think it makes sense for him to wrestle matches when he is not a wrestler. He is not Logan Paul. He's not going to be doing any big spots off the top rope or anything like that. And while you could tell a story with Tyson Fury in the WWE, realistically, the schedule demands to be a WWE superstar is very hard for somebody like Tyson Fury, especially if there's a huge question mark in regards to him coming to America to help build up the story. So, if Tyson Fury is going to be at Clash at the Castle 2, you can do something small with him. But as far as a wrestling match goes or anything like that, I think that is something that I personally would not be interested in. I want to talk a little bit about Stone Cold Steve Austin, because there's a lot of interesting news surrounding Stone Cold Steve Austin. And to be honest with you guys, I don't know if it's good or bad. And I don't know if WWE I don't know if they need Stone Cold Steve Austin. So basically, about a week or two ago, there was a whole bunch of reports that WWE reportedly made a huge offer for Stone Cold Steve Austin to work the WWE Royal Rumble. There was also this belief that Stone Cold Steve Austin was reportedly offered a deal to wrestle Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Now, Dave Meltzer kind of chimed in on this on the Wrestling Observer Radio, and he says, as far as Steve Austin goes, Steve might be at WrestleMania. He obviously wouldn't be surprised. He might even do something on the show, but he actually did, in fact, turn down wrestling at the show. Stone Cold Steve Austin was offered Brock Lesnar. He was offered Roman Reigns. And Meltzer also added that he could have probably named his own opponent that he would have liked to wrestle, but he actually chose not to wrestle on the show. So the idea that Stone Cold Steve Austin turned down wrestling at WrestleMania, this is a big question mark. And honestly, I want to know what you guys think, because WWE's WrestleMania card, when you look at the idea right now that's kind of floating around on social media, the roster is so stacked. And when I saw so many WWE talent on the Royal Rumble, to me, it just kind of felt like WWE was finally going all in on their roster versus going all in on a whole bunch of legends. And, you know, I liked what Stone Cold Steve Austin did at WrestleMania 38, and I'm definitely not opposed to Stone Cold Steve Austin wrestling at WrestleMania 39. But if this means more people could get on the WrestleMania card instead, that actually need the airtime and that actually need those big matches and big storylines, I'm all for WWE catering to some of those guys who need it. Stone Cold Steve Austin clearly doesn't need it, nor does The Rock. And obviously Triple H kind of talked about this at the press conference, at the Royal Rumble press conference. You know, he said, hey, like, we're always in conversations with The Rock, but it doesn't look like it's in the cards. And when I think of The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, I think really if they're going to be involved in big marquee matches for WrestleMania, it has to elevate other talent. And, you know, realistically, like, I just don't know if it's needed, right? Like, I'm still kind of torn on this. Like, part of me would like to see it because, of course, I'm a fan of Stone Cold Steve Austin. But does WWE absolutely need it? I think that's the question mark, and that's what I definitely want to know from you guys, because Stone Cold Steve Austin is turning it down, and that's very intriguing to me. What also is very intriguing to me is we saw the return of Nia Jax in the WWE, and very quickly WWE announced new merchandise for Nia Jax. And I thought this was really interesting that they decided to do this, because if you go on WWE.com, Nia Jax is still listed as a roster member under the alumni section. Then what's really interesting is there's an event that is happening March 10th through March 11th. And basically it's like the signing where you can go and do a meet and greet with Lena Fanine, formerly known as Nia Jax. Now this event is, you know, it's kind of strange, right? Like, WWE does not shy away from certain talent being able to do signings and stuff. We obviously saw Carl Anderson do the New Japan match at Wrestle Kingdom. But when I look at WWE and they immediately announced new merchandise for Nia Jax, and then we don't see Nia Jax on television, and she's still on the alumni section, and there is advertising for her at another event that is non-WWE related, it is very strange. Now, the reason why I bring this up too is she is being referred to as formerly known as Nia Jax. Now, when you're contracted to WWE and you are doing these virtual signings or these meet and greets or whatever it may be, WWE will typically have some sort of an agreement where these people can use their WWE name. Now, it is a case-by-case situation, but it just wouldn't make sense logically for WWE to do it for others and not Nia Jax, especially if Nia Jax is back in the company. So a lot of people are kind of questioning as to whether or not Nia Jax is really back in the company or not. But I got to offer some criticism here. And I don't want to sound whiny or complainy, but this is just kind of something that stood out to me. Nia Jax returned to the company at the Royal Rumble at number 30. That's a very major spot for somebody to not be signed to the company as a one-off and not win the Royal Rumble or anything. Like, what would have been the purpose for that? You know, at that point, I would have just had Mickie James or a Forbidden Door entrant. And I think that is somewhat of a concern here. So WWE appears to have canceled this WWE return. What happened? What slipped through the cracks? I don't know, but I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.